Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught driving asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Oh boy, I hope that you are all taking care of yourselves, in particular those of you who are in areas that are affected by the smoke coming from the fires in Canada. We are, it's supposed to dissipate, I believe, this evening. We're going to talk to somebody in a moment to get some more information. But please, if you have access to a KN95 mask or something to cover your face, it is challenging, and I'm feeling it. My eyes hurt. So we're going to talk a little bit about these smoke coverage that we have in Chicago from the Canadian wildfires, which is, of course, contributing to unhealthy air quality across parts of the U.S., including northern Illinois, where the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency has issued a red forecast air pollution action day. And joining us on the line, we have with us Sarah with Erdal, who is a Associate Professor of Environmental and Occupational Health Sciences at the University of Illinois Chicago School of Public Health. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing as best as I can. How are you doing today?
I'm finding this to be challenging. I'm trying to stay hydrated. I've been wearing a mask when I'm outside, even while I'm driving, because I figure with the filtration in my car, it's probably safer to do that. Are these some of the steps that people should be taking?
Yes, there are a number of precautions that people should be taking. Foremost, the most important thing is people should stay indoors and to reduce their exposures to harmful air pollutants that exist within wildfire smoke, and also reduce the associated health risks for those exposures. Two, they should monitor local air quality index very closely. They have a number of avenues for doing that. Number one, they can go to the Open Air Chicago website. My research team and the Chicago Department of Public Health has created a sensor-based air monitoring network in Chicago, which is the largest of its kind in the nation and the second largest in the world. So we have data at 277 locations across the city where the sensors measure fine particulate matter exposures, which are very relevant for wildfire smoke across the city. I highly advise for the residents to go to the Open Air Chicago website, locate the nearest sensor to their workplace or their residence, and keep track of the air quality index levels so that they are informed about the air quality in real time and they can take measures to protect themselves. It's really important for sensitive subpopulations such as children, the elderly, pregnant people, people with asthma or other respiratory or cardiovascular ailments to take precautions and stay indoors because they are particularly vulnerable to health effects of air pollution.
Where are we right now? Because I know last night I had gotten an alert that it was going to be about 196 was what I had seen. Where are we right now?
Well, according to the EPA's smoke and fire map, right now the air quality index is unfortunately 470.
What?
Yes, and that is, and I would like to share with your audience that the acceptable threshold is 100. So we are within the hazardous air quality conditions. This is why it's extremely important for the public to take necessary measures to protect themselves from harmful exposures, because those are well demonstrated and well established, scientifically proven health effects on both the respiratory system and cardiovascular system.
Wow. I did not realize that it was over. I went outside twice today, and it was funny. I was going to go to the gym, and I know you said according to this. By the way, everyone, I am on the website Open Air Chicago at chicago.gov as well, and I was going to go work out, and I get that it says of everyone. This is for everyone. Avoid all outdoor physical activities. But I would say because it's a strain in general for breathing, like I was like, I am not working out today. I don't see a reason to put myself into a vulnerable situation.
Yes, we're under conditions per EPA's air quality index. That is, those air quality index levels are derived from health effects research studies, and all people are advised to avoid any type of outdoor exertion.
Yeah, this is horrible. And do we have I heard that might be dissipating tonight. Is that accurate, or are we going to see days of this?
I think it looks like we're going to have a few more days of it. But again, I'm encouraging everyone to go to Open Air Chicago website because we're measuring. We are a city with this physical public infrastructure that people actually can locate the nearest air quality sensor to their residence or workplace and keep monitoring the air quality in real time so that they can take measures to adjust their schedules and take measures to protect themselves until this we are over this is air pollution episode.
I'm on. What is airnow.gov? Is that associated with the work that you're doing as well?
No, that is the US EPA website, and that the difference between that site, our site is that site also provides measurements of air quality, but also it makes predictions on air quality. On the other hand, Open Air Chicago provides actual real-time measurements of air quality.
Because this one's saying 701. Why would they? What is that?
Well, these are modeling estimates, but if you go to the, for example, the Clarity based sensor network under Open Air Chicago, we're seeing at many sites the levels are reaching 300, which is and more and higher, and that is the hazardous zone.
Holy moly, folks! Well, please take heed of the warnings. It's a warning for everybody, but in particular, people again who have asthma, heart disease, such as palpitations, shortness of breath, unusual fatigue may indicate a serious problem. Please, folks, if you are feeling any sort of strain or stress or pain, please contact your healthcare provider. Sensitive folks who might be vulnerable to these conditions remain indoors. So K95 masks. I know some people are wearing like gaiters and things like that. Is that how obviously the way we should be going?
People should certainly wear NIOSH approved N95 masks because the masks made of clothes or surgical masks do not filter out particles related to wildfire smoke. And in addition, if people are able to, they should operate a air purifier that has a HEPA filter in it so that they're in their home because there's infiltration of outdoor air to indoors. So in order to remove the particles indoors, it's very important, a good measure to have an air purifier operating in the home so that they can stay safe indoors.
I also I saw some information today. One thing was not to run your kitchen fan because that would be pulling air in from outside.
Correct, exactly. Anything that any kind of vent, any kind of means to have fresh air intake into the house should be prevented so that there is no pulling of outdoor smoky air from outdoors to indoors.
Yeah, and folks, I'm telling you, while you're driving as well, I know it's not comfortable, but I would wear your mask while you're driving because you are pulling air in from outside through your car cabin, so filtration. So please take care of yourselves, right?
Yes. One thing that I also would like to highlight is those who work outdoors. And we listed all the sensitive subpopulations, children, elderly, pregnant women, people with existing respiratory and cardiovascular diseases or ailments, but outdoor workers also get exposed to, because of the exposure duration, they get exposed to higher concentrations and longer duration of exposure that puts them at higher risk. So they should certainly wear masks. When traveling in car, people should keep windows, vents closed and run their air conditioner on the recirculate mode.
Wow. I don't think, I think we all kind of just like went, oh, I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's weird. I'm seeing folks outside with like masks and things like that. I feel like this should have been, you know how we get alerts on our phones, you know, for tornadoes. This seems like something we could possibly have an alert on our phone. This seems even more so. I'm not more so, but still, don't you think?
Yes. We have plans to make the Open Air Chicago available as an app. So hopefully, Patty, that will be coming soon.
Okay, I appreciate that. Because as we have, you know, obviously an acceleration of hot weather like this and conditions that are make it likely that there will be more fires like this, we appreciate the work that you and everybody with your office are doing. Again, we've been talking to Sarah Erdal. Am I saying your names correctly?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Absolutely. Associate Professor of Environmental and Occupational Health Sciences at the University of Illinois Chicago School of Public Health at UIC. They're obviously doing the work necessary. I didn't realize that we had the world's second largest, smoke. Like, how do you describe it? The sensors for
sensor-based air monitoring network.
Oh, my God. Well, thank you so much. They're providing real-time data on local air quality conditions, and we really please thank everybody at your office for us. And thank you so much for taking the time to inform my audience because I want to make sure that everybody is safe.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Patty, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to spread the word around because we want our public and citizens, residents in Chicago to protect themselves from these harmful exposures.
Absolutely. And what is there anything that we've forgotten that we've left on the table that we should know about? I think we've covered a lot of the vulnerable groups. I really think that everybody should just, I know that everybody wants to get out there, go work, go run, those kinds of things. But I just really think that, everyone should kind of take a seat.
Yes, I highly recommend for everyone to make sure that they are just staying put, staying indoors, protecting themselves, making sure that their indoors they have healthy air. Again, air purifier, if people don't have an air purifier or they cannot purchase one, the city made available some of the public libraries, other types of city-owned facilities available to the public to not only keep cool in these hot temperatures, but also to protect themselves from harmful exposures indoors because outdoor air infiltrates indoors.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much again. I appreciate it. I'm a little bit concerned. I actually am using my guest co-host, Dan Schaefer's in studio with me right now. Our air conditioning conked out today, and we happen to have a portable air conditioner that he gifted me with. But that means we have to keep. Did you hear the noise he made? Because we have to keep the window open in order to do the portable air conditioner. Those are terrible. I mean, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. All the windows need to be closed. The doors need to be closed. So one thing that I also recommend is if people are thinking about purchasing an air purifier, they should look at the California Air Resources website. CARB tests air purifiers, and they have a list of certified air purifiers for the public to purchase.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for everything. Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you. And keep safe.
Yes, thank you. Well, being better informed, I think it keeps us all much safer. And you've done a lot. You've done a great thing today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. I don't know how we're going to... Dan, I can't... It's
sorry,
hot.
I didn't talk because I came in late. I didn't want to freak anybody out by suddenly there's somebody else in the room.
Dan Schaefer's joining us in studio. Let's take a break here because we have a guest on the line with us who has been... we've got Veronica Garcia Martinez is going to join us. She's candidate for Illinois State Rep, District 70. She's also been witness to an exchange, an altercation with ICE agents in her neck of the woods in the DeKalb area. So let's take a break here and continue our conversation. Everything is so bad today. The world's literally on fire, and it's not it's not melting ice. So I don't see that. It's not helpful.
I see what you did there.
I see what I did there. More in a moment. Thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters, Source Solar, Are You Really Winning? Social Change, Berman, Kia, and Subaru. Of course, our friends at the Monaco Brewing Company. Thank you, everybody watching on our friends who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, and of course, Monaco Brewing Company Substack. We'll be back with guest co-host Dan Schaefer from the Politini, as well as our guest on the line, Veronica Garcia Martinez. More in a moment.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and of course all of our friends who are tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company's Substack. Please consider subscribing so that you can stay up to date on all our conversations and share with your family and friends so they can also join us. In studio with me, I have my guest co-host Dan Schaefer, who's the co-host of Palatini and Tuesdays with Josie, available wherever you get your podcast. Hey, Dan.
Hello.
Hi, Dan. Hi, not Josie. Hi, Dan. Dan was stuck in traffic. The whole northwest side has been choked off from the highways. The train tracks are blocked. So don't come in nor leave. Jefferson Park is where we're at. Which I wonder, so on the line with us, we have candidate for Illinois State Rep District 70, the DeKalb area. And we'll ask right now, like, from what those areas are. Veronica Garcia Martinez joins me on the line. Veronica, well, first of all, hi, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Yesterday was pretty rough, but I'm much better today.
Yeah, so a lot of us see these instances on social media. Like, I've been to the protests at Broadview, so I've seen the artillery. I haven't been intimidated the way other people have. I haven't been involved in any altercations or been witness to any of them. I've seen things get heated. The closest I've ever come, and it's so weird because I drove by and there were ICE agents waddling through the grass on the side of the highway looking for share ride drivers, and that's probably the closest I've seen to any sort of action over here by Rosemont. But you got into it yesterday. Tell us a little bit about what happened in DeKalb, the DeKalb area.
Well, I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, thankfully. But so I received a message on Facebook telling me that there was ICE agents going door to door on one of our streets in DeKalb. We sent some people out, nobody there. 20 minutes later, I get another message saying they're at someone's door as we speak. They have proof. Get over there. Nobody could make it. So I'm like, let me go. I'm going to head out there and just see. Usually by the time we get there, they're gone. Well, I get there and they're sitting right there in front of this house, kitty corner from the house that they were looking at earlier, like 10 minutes earlier. And I'm like, all right, let me turn. And I parked legally on the side of the street about a house distance away from this car. And something in me didn't feel right. Like, I didn't honk my horn. I didn't blow a whistle. I didn't do anything because I just felt like something wasn't right. So my daughter was with me and I'm like, you know what? Are you okay with me going live? I'm going to have the camera on me. She's like, as long as it's not on me, do it, Mom. So I put the camera on and I'm watching and I'm like, guys, I'm here at this house. We were told it's ICE. It looks like ICE, but I can't confirm. And I'm not getting out of the car. The next thing I know, now I have a nice car. I have an Infiniti QX60. It has the 360 camera. So if anything comes too close, it'll buzz, like get away because you're going to get hit. This car starts to back almost into me. And on my daughter's recording, you can see where my car flashes like too close. So it stopped right in front of my license plate, like right in front of me. And you can see them taking pictures of me. You can see them recording me. Never did they get out of the car. Never did I move. Never did I shift the gear. Nothing. One of the responders showed up and she's outside taking video. I'm sitting in the car. I'm not moving. She's not causing a scandal. We're just there. Never did I point my camera at the officials. The next thing I know, I see a car behind me, a truck, an SUV, a black one with tinted windows. The license plates were covered with like a film. And I don't know who it is. I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's rapid response here to save me because these guys, clearly I either have to back up to leave or I can't go anywhere. Well, no, my car buzzes again because now they're sitting on me, license plate to license plate. There's no way I can reverse, no way I can go forward, no way I can go to the sides.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was scared. So mind you, I'm keeping it together because my kid's in the car. I have a 16-year-old in the car. And we were there just to make sure that my neighbors were going to be fine, So
and to observe, to make sure that
exactly, that was it. I'm not a scandal person. I don't believe we should be. I think it makes things worse. Anyway, so they wouldn't leave. And then she's like, Mom, they're recording you. So then finally, I think they were seeing that more and more people were coming. The guy in front of me leaves. And I'm like, babe, we're not moving until the guy behind me leaves. And I kept telling people, I'm not 100% sure it's ICE because, of course, I can't see. You can tell they had vests. You can tell they had glasses, but I couldn't see the face. The next thing I know, the car behind me wraps around me, very slowly opens the window and mocks me, full masks, full glasses, the whole thing, like the typical ICE look that you would expect to see. Just mocking. And then the car that was in front was mocking the woman who was taking the video, like, hi, like, take your pictures. So then after that, they just ran rampant all over between DeKalb and Sycamore. For those of you in Chicago, that's like 30 minutes in traffic. For us, it's like 8 minutes. It's a distance. They were hitting well-known gas stations where Latinos live. You know, the home that they were at was someone from, you know, a Latin American country. It's like, what do you want? And these people aren't. If they were criminals, they would have a warrant and they would kick the door down.
Right. Right. A judicial warrant. Yeah. All they have are permission slips from themselves. They wrote themselves.
Exactly. And, you know, when it was done, I'm on live and I started explaining that they left. I shared the car, the license plate, and then I just started shaking like it hit me. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, imagine how scared I am. But imagine, you know, Renee Good, how scared she's being yelled at.
That's what I was just going to say.
You know, she's getting yelled at. She's being a pointed gun at.
Right.
And I was scared like you have no idea. Like, it scares me now. Like, I have, like, you know, goosebumps just thinking about it. I'm like, and I did nothing. I like literally felt like I froze. So then I left and I started hitting the businesses that I know, saying they're here, be careful. And then I just fell apart. And I went and I did a video and I'm like, guys, like, I'm a Latina, I'm a teacher, my students are Latinos. And for 5 minutes, I was scared out of my mind. Imagine how they feel knowing that mom and dad might not come home, or can I leave work? And that's all day, every day. But I only had to feel that fear for 5 minutes. And I can't even tell you how overwhelming it was.
Well, and it's like you couldn't do anything, right? Like, you felt like, for example, like you mentioned Renee Good, if you even moved your car and all you would have been doing was trying to remove yourself from the situation, but even that you had to second guess. And then the car pulling up next to you and the window rolling down. I mean, that at that point, you're also like, what is about to happen, right?
Yeah, and there was like 5 guys in that second car. 5, like, why do you have that many? And where is their car that they're traveling in? Where are you putting your cars?
Right. And the other thing is you couldn't even read the license plate. There was film over it, so there's no identification. There's no accountability. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. The white car is the same car that took the guys over on Division the day before in Chicago. Same car, same license plate. And people were matching it. And I'm like, we really have to pay attention to these plates. But it's like, why would you pin me like that? Like, I wasn't doing anything. Nothing in there told you that I was there. Now, mind you, what if I was a person visiting a neighbor? Like, I spend 30 minutes in my car, you know, mom de-stressing before I go into my home every day. What if I was going into my home and then I get out and you take that as an attack?
Yeah, obviously.
That's what blows my mind.
Well, I mean, you know, presumably it's because you do look Latina, and they, you know, they've got a quota to fill, and if they can instigate something or, you know, do something that leads to, I feel like these shootings, you know, and Trump saying that he wants traffic stops to resume because they had put a pause on it for temporarily, or in some instances and things like that. You know, I started thinking the other day, because when there's a murder like Renee Good, Alex Preddy shooting, and the thing is, like, we know in Chicago, Miramar Martinez and Silverio Gonzalez, who were all, Silverio was the first to be shot in Chicago, killed in Chicago, and Miramar was shot, was shot 5 times. But there wasn't an outrage because, in part, because there was the videos, and also because there were Latinos. There are people who have the sense of, like, well, you know, that's because they were the targets, or they were the one doing something wrong. I mean, like, but because the pea brains leap to conclusions about people who look like you or my mother or have last names like mine, they jump to conclusions, and I feel like they're trying to stir them up. I feel like the Proud Boys who are in the ICE agency, because we know that they are, we know that they've got, you know, they recruit them. Yeah. I mean, Homan has met with the leaders of the Proud Boys. We're not speculating, but this is what they do, and so I almost feel like they want to heighten this tension between the people like us who want to fight for those who should be able to, you know, work and live with dignity and safety, regardless of where they came from. This whole do it the right way thing is such a crock, because I get that there are people who come here illegally. They still are subject to our Constitution, which is due process and protection of rights. So all the things, at any rate. Let me take a break here. I've been prattling on while we've had you on the line, and I want to get more of your story and talk about your race as well. We're talking to Veronica Garcia Martinez, who's a community activist and candidate for Illinois State Representative in District 70. So you can go to her website, Veronica 4IL. That's Veronica with the number 4IL.com, correct?
Yes,
right?
That's right.
Excellent. And we will continue our conversation. We have in studio with me guest co-host Dan Schaefer, who's it's right here at the top of my page. If you just read it. He's a co-host of Palatini and also the host of Tuesdays with Josie. More in a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Oh wait, that's later. And our friends watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Monaco Brewing Company Substack. We'll be right back after this.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews and the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
No detours, no distractions, just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150. Of course, all of our friends tuning in digitally, including Facebook, YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack, or perhaps you're listening on a podcast, and we appreciate that. You can find all of our podcasts at heartlandsignal.com. Joining me in studio is guest co-host Dan Schaefer, the host of Palatini and Tuesdays with Josie. On the line with us, we have Veronica Garcia-Martinez, who's a community activist and candidate for Illinois State Representative. She had a very scary situation with ICE agents yesterday. They pinned her in while she was parked in response. She was responding to calls that somebody was being targeted by ICE agents who wanted to observe. Because here's the thing, Veronica, is that we see time and time again, people are just being disappeared. I mean, there are people who, and many of them getting lost in the system. We've heard about how people just digitally disappear, and sometimes the only thing we have are folks like you who record like, what's your name, what's your birth date, sometimes like just information so that it can be shared with those who need to know where their person is.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that we're pushing here. Like, I can't stress enough to my community. I tell them all the time, change your routines, share your location. They know where you're at. They're looking for you. They're waiting for you to just slip up one time. I'm like, carry an extra set of keys. If they stop you, chuck those keys across the street. Like, they're not going to run after your keys. Like, something as simple as that, something with a tracker that if they find your keys on the side of the road, they're going to know they probably took you. Because people are disappearing. We're having people, appear in random streets in Mexico. Unfortunately, people that don't even speak Spanish, they end up there and they can't get processed. They don't know, what the protocol is. And Mexico's trying to keep up, but they're getting thousands of people a day. And, and I get so much hate out here from this community. Mind you, I'm in corn country, okay? And I love living here, but the people don't understand the value of immigrant work, of the labor force, of the money that they put into our community, of their children. Their children are outperforming students across the nation, but you're mad at them. You're mad at them because they're our future leaders. And I think that that's what scares them. And it's so frustrating.
Well, tell me yourself as a leader, you have, is this your first time running for office? By the way, Veronica is running to be the candidate to be the next Illinois State Representative of District 70. Have you run for office before?
I ran for a local county board seat once, and honestly, I didn't take it seriously. But when Trump was elected, I was, leading protests with the Latino community because I just was so appalled. And then someone asked me, like, hey, do you want to run? And I'm like, no, like, I can't, I'm a Latina. My family is mixed status. I don't want the drama. And then my kids are like, Mom, you have to do it for our cousins. You have to do it for them. And I'm like, okay. And, I look at my students and I talk a lot about Sotomayor. I went to see her and she said, open the doors for the generation that comes behind you. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to open the doors, but you better walk through them. Like, this is important to me. Like, I'm here to fight for you. And I keep hearing about the hate on bilingual students. And I'm like, I'm going to fight for them because I know their value and I know their strength and their power. And I'm doing it, and I'm out there, and I'm running my mouth like I do best. I think my poor boss, I give her a heart attack every day, but I do it because I know that these kids are watching me. When they saw that video, I fell apart, on social media, and right away the students, Maestra, are you okay? Maestra, are you fine? Miss Martinez, is everything okay? And I'm like, I'm fine, I'm here, but I was scared, They have to see the good, bad, and the ugly because I'm fighting for them. I'm fighting for them at all levels so that we continue to protect their programs and their services.
I don't know if they told you, but I ran for state rep in my area on the northwest side of Chicago. A little bit different, it is a community that did vote for a small majority for Trump. 52% voted for Trump. But when did you decide to run? When did they ask you? You said during some of the protests.
So July of last year.
So you've been
July during a protest. Yeah.
And have you been running since about last July?
Yes,
That's great.
like nonstop. It has been insane and it has been good. I speak to a lot of Republican business owners. I've spoke to many and they're upset because they're like, my workers aren't coming to work. I can't rent my units that they used to rent. And, and that's the thing, like people want to dog on Latinos, but Latinos are timely and they're clean and they work hard. You can't get a better tenant. You can't get a better worker, but yet you don't want them here. Why? Why?
It was because they were told to hate. They were, and they're for the people who are like, don't tread on me. They're so quick for the comply or die, and there is a portion of the population that likes authority. They're more likely to trust the authority figure. So if they're told something, regardless, there's a guy, I just shared a video yesterday. This guy in Maine walked up on some protesters and he started going off about how, well, if he just done it the right way, maybe this wouldn't have happened, and compared it to cutting in line at a steakhouse, which I didn't realize the hostess carries a sidearm, and that cutting in line at the steakhouse is punishable by execution. But they said, did you know he had a social security number? And he was like, what? And then he was like, did he get it legally? And they were like, yeah, he had a social security number legally. And he's like, well, he had a gun, which I didn't even know was a rumor. That's the thing, is that like whatever whatever they're fed. And I get that we are prone to it sometimes, but I go and look. I'm like, is this true? I give something a little bit of time, try to make sure. But they are like, we're like that. It was this young man, Johann Sebastian Duran Gonzalez. It was his fault. Guerrero. It was his fault in Texas. It immediately, without any other information, it's always the Latinos' fault, and it doesn't come from anywhere except for a place of hatred.
Yeah, no, and that's the problem. The hate is there. We went to do an impromptu protest after what happened, and a mom driving an SUV with a car full of kids just flicks us off and starts yelling hateful comments. I'm like, you're doing that in front of your kids, man. And you got to think back, like, I teach history to my students and I talk about World War II and how it started. Let's get rid of the bad Jews first. Now let's get rid of all the Jews. Same thing. Let's get rid of the criminal immigrants. Now let's get rid of all the Latinos. We don't want none of them here. Yeah. That's where we're on the same path.
Yep.
And the Latinos are here sitting here fighting each other because the Mexicans are mad that the Venezolanos are here. Hey, you know what? We're here. Let's figure it out. Let's fix it. Let's start voting. Let's start getting representation, which is why I'm doing this. And let's start having somebody fight for us.
Well, Veronica, so I agree completely. And I think hate and racism, that is taught, right? That is definitely something that, and then the example you just shared about the mother flipping you off, like that's being taught that's okay to those children in the car. But like you said, you are running and you're in corn country, right? And so one would automatically just assume that your seat would just automatically default to a Republican. But I think what you were explaining earlier about talking to Republican business owners and things of that sort it is dollars and cents, right? And it's the bottom line for a lot, and it's the livelihood for individuals, right? So how are you kind of bridging that gap of people maybe just being like, oh, well, you're a Democrat, but you'd be like, no, actually, we can have some meaningful conversations, and these are my ideas that I have to address. What are some of those conversations like that you're having?
Well, I'm also a business owner. I have a small restaurant that's reopening, and I pay a crazy amount of taxes, and I'm a very conservative Democrat. People always cringe when I say that. I'm a Catholic woman. I have my beliefs. So I think that don't just blanket put me in the Democrat category. Like, understand that I'm very much in the middle. I understand both sides, and I think that we have to have a government that accepts both points of views. And there has to be things that we can be like, all right, the Republicans got it right on this one. Let's use it. The Democrats got it right on this one. Let's use it. Let's start working together. We should have two sides. We should have two perspectives. But don't just automatically give the seat to the first white Republican man that wants it, because he might not be cut out for it. Like, we have to think about the population that lives out here. Yes, it's super Republican, but we have children with IEPs and 504s. We have bilingual learners of more than 80 languages. They all deserve a proper education. And, a lot of the Republican candidates or incumbents want to take those away. Do you want your child who has a 504 and IEP to lose their education? To a voucher program? Like, we have to think about all of it. Maybe not everything that I stand for is great, according to the Republican side, but there are things that fall into an issue for both sides. AI data centers, voucher programs for schools, like all that. It's definitely a bipartisan issue. It's not a Democrat-Republican issue. It's an everybody issue.
I agree completely.
And immigration is an everybody issue. We need the spending power of immigrants that have dual status families here in Illinois. It's incredible how much they spend here, how much they invest into our communities, and we just want to get rid of them. I tell my neighbors, imagine if for 2 weeks they didn't go to work and they didn't spend $1. We would crumble. We would crumble. And then you'll be like, oh, come back. No, it's not that easy.
No.
Understand the value and stop persecuting them.
Absolutely. We let folks know that where the DeKalb area is. I mean, folks who maybe, of course, those of you know that Northern Illinois University is in DeKalb. Actually, one of my favorite distilleries, Whiskey Acres, is also.
Yeah.
I love Whiskey Acres. But tell folks a little bit about the area.
So DeKalb, I'm out in DeKalb County. I'm in Cortland, Illinois, and the area is pretty much surrounded by corn and soybean. We have NIU, we have District 428, which I work for, which we have the top performing seniors in the nation for Seal of Biliteracy. We have the top performing Spanish listening and speaking fifth graders in the nation out here. We have with our dual language program. We have amazing businesses. We're a great community for small business. And District 70 runs all the way from Salmonock, Illinois, all the way through Sugar Grove, Elburn, Sycamore, Cortland, all the way up to Crystal Lake. It's a very long district, but such amazing people. And I'm talking Republican and Democrat. We have amazing people out here. And, you know, we just have to really find someone that's willing to represent both sides and really just listen and have that conversation. And I'm telling you that I am that person.
Outstanding. That's candidate Veronica Garcia Martinez. You can go to veronica4il.com. That's Veronica, the number 4il.com. We'd love to have you back and talk some more about your race. I'd like to find out about maybe getting some folks out to go door knocking or whatever you might need. Perfect. As far as go to the website, folks. She needs the three things she needs. One, if you live in the area, your vote. Number two, your time. She needs volunteers to keep things going and help spread the word. And she needs donations to help fund the campaign.
Definitely.
Because we don't want people. We want obviously from the community is best, but every legislator in Springfield affects all of our lives, not just in the state, but also it can impact people nationwide. So go to veronica4il.com. And I'd love to talk to you some more about your race in the weeks to come, my friend.
Perfect. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're safe, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Yes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Bye-bye. Let's take a break here, and we'll catch up with everybody in just a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle. Dan Schaefer, the co-host of Palatini, joining me in studio. He's also the host of Tuesdays with Josie, available wherever you listen to your podcast, both of those. And we also want to thank our friends watching digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now on Substack with Monaco Brewing Company. And hello, Karen. I'm trying to do better about checking in on our Facebook page as well, not checking with Substack in a moment. More in a moment after this. I'll be right back. I'll say all the things hosts say when they're taking a break. Here you go.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle. And of course, all of our digital platforms. Hi to Janie Grillo. I'm about 10 minutes east of Veronica's district. I wish I could vote for her. Oh, Janie, that's great. And we got Karen, who's also watching. I'll try to figure out how to get onto Substack and take a look at the folks that are joining us there. Dan Schaefer is the co-host of Palatini and Tuesdays with Josie, available wherever you listen to your podcast. And he was stuck in traffic. So for folks who aren't familiar, the northwest side of Chicago is Jefferson Park, Norwood Park, Edison Park. I would say right now the most affected areas are Gladstone Park and Jefferson Park when it comes to a really bad traffic situation. And then on top of it, to have this smoke. So you have all these cars just sitting in traffic, just stopped on the side streets and the main arteries, which are Northwest Highway. And then Bryn Mawr is backed up. So folks,
Nagel is closed at the train track.
Yes, yeah. It's horrible. And so I hope that people are are taking precautions. I would plan for the next 2 days to tell your employer you got to work from home. Avoid. So you guys, if you're just tuning in, the city of Chicago has a place where you can take a look, and we should be doing this more often because I think that we've had this in the last couple of years where fires from Canada have affected us so badly.
Right.
So you just Google Open Air Chicago and you'll get information about the air quality. And in here, there's a tab. We were talking to our friend Sarab Erdal from the University of Illinois Chicago. Airnow.gov has it even worse than what the UIC and the city of Chicago map shows. It shows air quality as hazardous. You should be, and the thing is that it's hot out, so keeping your windows closed is horrible if you don't have air conditioning. So please, if you know anybody who does not have air conditioning, and then they also have to close their windows for their own respiratory health and safety, heart conditions are vulnerable, please make sure that they have somewhere to go with air conditioning. Please look out for the people in your life.
Yeah.
This is bad.
The city has a bunch of public places that they've opened up, as the caller said earlier.
Yeah. So take a look. And this is just awful. Again, that's for folks. The air quality is hazardous. Sensitive groups should stay indoors and keep activities light. For example, if you have asthma, please follow your asthma action plan and keep quick relief medicine handy. People with heart disease, if you have symptoms such as palpitations, shortness of breath, or unusual fatigue, this may indicate a serious problem. If you have any of these, please contact your healthcare provider. And again, since folks who are vulnerable right now, please remain indoors. This is really, and everybody, I know that people have to work outside and your bosses are going to make you do it. If you have the ability to not work, or definitely, I get it, you have your running, your traditions, your patterns, your workout routine, please avoid physical activity outside. I don't think I'm going to leave. Do I have to leave the house tomorrow? I don't think. I'm trying not to. I have my K95. You have K95 masks are the best for this? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could you feel it in the car when you were sitting in traffic?
Well, I did the recirculation, with the air conditioning running. And normally I don't run the air conditioning. I'm the windows open guy. My husband, however, is very much the air conditioning guy. I had the recirculating thing going because it's when we were driving to O'Hare just now, you couldn't see billboards, like it was that thick, and so I didn't know any of this was happening, right? Like I went out this morning to walk the dogs, and I thought somebody's house was on fire. And then I go inside after the walk, which was a longer walk than I would have taken had I known. And I'm watching the news, and it's like I should have known about this all along. And I was like, holy crap! Yeah. Wow, okay. And they're like, stay inside. And then the numbers that were discussed earlier, 400 and 100, so we're four times higher.
Say anything over, so 0 to 50 is good, and moderate is up to 100. Unhealthy starts at 100.
Yeah.
And then hazardous starts at 300, and we are at 400. And the federal government map shows us at 700 because theirs is predictive, but it also incorporates pollutants. So hers are the smoke detectors.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, there was a neighbor's house on fire. It just happens to be Canada.
Our upstairs neighbor,
Yeah, our upstairs neighbor's got a fire going on, and we're all vulnerable to it. Reporting from Sycamore, just heard Patty's interview with our Democratic candidate for state rep in District 70, Veronica Garcia Martinez. Oh, thank you very much, 815. I appreciate that. My pleasure. So folks, you can text me at 773-763-9278. That's 773-763-9278. I'm going to leave the phone lines closed. I apologize to everybody, but you'll need to text if you want to join us on the show. You open up the phone line for Jim? You can open the phone line for Jim. Let's make sure Jim's good. All right. Lady B, at your discretion. Lady B, at your discretion. Just want to be mindful of the people in your life, please. And the other thing I forgot about this, also in Gladstone Park, the pedestrian bridge is now closed over the Kennedy Expressway. So is there something that I should know?
Right.
Is there like some sort of apocalyptic event happening at Gladstone? They're trying to contain us. Like, don't let the people from Gladstone, nobody in, nobody out.
It's like those movies, right? Where they're just started closing everything in.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just feeling a little concerned about my community.
I'm worried about my car sitting out there.
What's happening? Is there? Are we in a sinkhole? Let nobody get too close to Gladstone Park? What is happening?
Now, who's going to be putting all those signs on the bridge when you drive past through the Kennedy now?
I
Come
love
on.
that you know that. That's the bridge. That is wild. I just did 60602 air now. Yeah, the air quality is 701 on the airnow.gov map, which is terrifying. And I don't feel great. I mean, it was funny because it just burns a little bit.
Yeah. And you can, I mean, it's got just walking outside. And again, just looking outside, like you can just see it,
painful,
you know? Yeah,
yes.
you're like, I'm going to stay here now.
Jim, are you taking care of yourself, my friend?
Good luck with that. I gave that up 50 years ago. I was going to ask Danny, when's the release the Kraken? What time is that speech tonight?
Yeah,
God. Yeah.
I don't know the time of it, but I've been listening to Newsmax and everything all day today, and they are all.
You got your painkillers. Your husband he must have a bottle of painkillers that were stashed in it.
But they're talking about, like, depending on where he gives the speech from. Is it going to be from the Oval Office? Is it going to be somewhere else? Is it going to be more like a rally where he's going to be talking for more than an hour? Is it going to be like they're talking about all the logistics of it? They're not actually talking about the content of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but they had some maniacs in there. I guess he was, the people who were election deniers that were, probably the pillow guy, whoever else.
Yeah.
They probably put him on the private jet. But anyway, that girl was lovely. That young lady was lovely. I hope she wins.
Veronica,
Yeah, she was terrific. Because, I mean, it's just real quick. I know you guys are expressed for time. But in Colorado, tuberculosis broke out in the GO prison there. 20 people have contracted tuberculosis. They have no air conditioning in the jail. Now, imagine this. It's 100 degrees there. I mean, this person is... when he goes to the great beyond, how many people has he murdered? I mean, when you talk about the pandemic... the way he mishandled that, what luck we had to have the nut in there at that time, and then continues on, killing people in Iran willy-nilly, killing people on boats. I mean, what an outfit. Anyway, Danny, I hope you get back to Patty because I can't look at the speech, but let her know. Let her know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
You guys, have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Jim. Let me get one more text before I go to the break. Lois is texting in. I feel sorry for all the critters and people living outside that have no option but to breathe this horrible air. It's hazardous air quality, folks. Please stay indoors as much as you possibly can. Keep the windows closed. If you do not have air conditioning, please find some place to get some relief from the heat as well. What a horrible just collision of events. Let's take a break here. And my air conditioning broke. I'm going to go sleep in my mom's house downstairs. Hi, Mom. We're crashing on the couch. We'll be in the living room. It's an all-nighter. Actually, I have to tell you, I got to take a break. More after this with Dan Schaefer from Palatini and me. I'm Patti Vasquez. We're going to drive home in a second.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm so thrilled to have you join us. I hope that you are happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are, in particular, those living in the areas that are being affected by the fires in Canada. Joining me in studio is my guest co-host, Dan Schaefer. We'll talk a little bit more. I think we should just get right to it with air quality, folks. If you are living in an area that's being impacted by the smoke coming down from the massive fires in Canada, you please take steps to reduce exposure to the harmful air pollutants. I don't know why I said it that way, pollutants. But sensitive groups, of course, please stay indoors, keep activity levels light. Right in the Chicagoland area, we're getting reports of people, some as high as 700. Now, anything over 100 is considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. We are at 700. For Chicagoans, you can go to just Google Open Air Chicago. We have the world's second largest collection of sensors. These are solar-powered PM 2.0 2.5 and nitrogen dioxide air quality sensors across the city that tracks neighborhood level pollution. So please stay up to date on what the levels are in your area. Again, we are at minimum in the Chicagoland area over 400, and some reports as high as 700, which is crazy. Do not work out outside. This is not a time to be a martyr or a hero or a savior or any of that. Like, you're not. It doesn't make you tougher. Yeah. There was a comedian in Chicago who said someone said it's as bad as smoking 10 cigarettes. He said, so stay inside, go to a casino and smoke 7.
Oh, there
and
you
you'll
go.
be safer.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go over in Rosemont. Yeah.
Dan said earlier that he thought that one of his neighbors' house was on fire. And I said, it is. It's just our neighbor to the north.
Yeah, it's
their house, the whole house is on fire. Please take care of yourselves. And thank you to our sponsors for making sure these conversations happen, that we can keep people informed, whether it's about their safety or their electeds or what's going on in the news. Thank you to our friends at Pride Coffee Roasters. I feel like you're wearing their logo. Wait a minute. Pride, another rainbow. They've got great shirts that say sounds gay, I'm in, and stickers and tote bags. And of course, in addition to their incredible single origin roasted to order coffee.
Really good coffee.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
I get so excited when Steve grinds up the coffee beans, and I know I'm going to have that coffee tomorrow morning. It makes me really happy. And I said this yesterday. I texted something. I am on now the coffee side of Instagram, so like I get a lot of coffee videos.
Okay.
And one was I don't want a coffee that has notes of cherry and cocoa. I want a coffee that storms into my brain, flips over a table, and says, "We've got poop to do." And it's another word, but it's stuff to do. And Jackie said every single bag.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just good stuff. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. You can put in an order for a bean subscription, or find out where they'll be at the farmers market near you in the Chicagoland area. We also want to thank our friends at Berman, Kia, and Subaru, such wonderful sponsors of our show, as well as our Pride Parade float. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to Source Solar. Go to source.solar, make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business, and he will walk you through the entire process. He and Warren will be in studio with me on Monday, so if you have any questions, please have those ready and text. And you can also email me if you aren't, all of our shows are podcasts, so if you missed that show, you'll be able to catch it later. It's all available at heartlandsignal.com. You can also email me, P. Vasquez at heartlandsignal.com, if you have any questions that you might not be able to call in with or text with, and I can get those in my email. And if you ever want to, if you own a business and you want to get the word out about the work that you do and also support the work that we do, please email me, P. Vasquez at heartlandsignal.com. We've got testimonials from folks like our friend Dr. Jason Bissell, who has been a longtime sponsor here at WCPT, as well as David Hochberg will tell you .com. You can put your own spin on it. Dan,
I will say, well, we were talking about sponsors and such. Solar. These past couple of days, I mean, I've been doing a lot of outdoor work, even though it's 100 and something degrees.
Yeah.
But I think I lost about 5-10 pounds via sweat. So I'm glad I did all that when it was hot and not currently, because you're not supposed to be outside. But I'll tell you what, though, my solar panels with my air conditioning running like 24/7, I was very happy with solar. So it is something to consider.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go green, you save green.
Exactly. Yeah.
All good stuff. So you and I were just talking off the air about two networks that are refusing to air whatever dribble.
Allegedly, ABC and NBC are going to run whatever their regular program is, which might be reruns. I'd rather watch a rerun than watch what this speech is going to be.
Yeah, what's on ABC and NBC tonight? I got to find that out. ABC primetime schedule for today. So they are not going to air it. Are you planning to watch it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I don't think that I can, honestly. I mean, part of me is well, we, as our good friend Jim would tell us, I do love torturing myself by watching things like that, right? Yes. But I feel like if he does declare a martial law or something crazy, I'm going to get an instant notification to my phone anyway, So, right. I mean, I don't know what, I think you and I were talking about the air. For all we know, unless he stays on script, we could hear everything from the election to Iran to the reflecting pool to, I have no idea what else, right? So maybe we're going to be invading Cuba or something, or Greenland. It could be any of those things, right? And so I don't know if I want to subject myself to that. I really don't.
There'll be plenty of people who will give us the update on what happened.
I'm just thoroughly it's going to be like your drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. I think that's essentially what we're going to be hearing. But who knows? I'm not. I mean, Joan had on her show somebody's kind of discussing it, and it could be, he's going to try to encourage us to question even more the integrity of elections. And I was listening to Newsmax, I think it was, and they were saying he'll be okay if he talks about the election fraud, but what you're going to do going forward, as opposed to just going back to 2020 was rigged and that was it, and also like he was the president during that election. And so if there was any meddling or anything, or our intelligence or our security was thwarted, he was the one in charge of that. And he's still, so what? Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever
so if somebody got into our system, it would be under his watch anyway, right? And so
seems to be the case.
Yeah, and he didn't discuss about the 2016 being rigged or anything because he won.
Yeah, exactly.
And they lost
well,
in 2016.
and he was laying the groundwork for people being suspicious of the elections. Then that if he didn't win, it would be because they cheated. Which is, and I often say it seems like every accusation is a confession. Just saying that as well. I mean, who was the one that called the governor of Georgia and demanded that he find another 11,000 some votes?
And there are tapes. I feel like Comey in the back of my head, being like, "Lordy, I hope there are tapes." Yeah. And then we have the tapes.
It's crazy, and it doesn't matter. These folks just don't care. It's a very strange.
Our attention span is very small as a nation. Our attention span is very short.
I know,
and that's just I know. That's coming from me. I have a short attention span.
I don't. I remember so many, like when Griffin asked me about the 2000 election, like I was like all angry all over again because that's the one I'll die angry about.
Well, yeah.
I'm angry ever since. Hello.
Yeah.
It's just bad. So, folks, 773-763-9278. We're not taking calls right now. Just being mindful of that because we don't have too much time with phone calls. But if you want to text me, that's the number to text, 773-763-9278 to join the conversation. We're also live streaming on Facebook as well as Facebook and YouTube. So if you have any comments you want to share, I probably should look at the YouTube. There's so many different platforms for me to look at. But
I think you need more screens so you can track everything.
You can also chat with some of the folks that are tuning in there. Tonight's lineup on ABC are all game shows. It's Family Feud, Celebrity Family Feud, Press Your Luck. And I had never heard of this. I didn't know that Nate Barsgatti, that guy, he who was at the White House for the whatever that big the big toddler wrestling thing that they did.
Oh, the UFC or whatever.
Barsgatti.
No, not UFC. WWE. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, he's got a game show called The Greatest Average American. Contestants guess Nate's popularity amongst grandmothers.
Oh,
that is some really interesting programming you got going on there.
Wow.
But I mean, it's on network. It's okay.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Maybe I'll watch that. Okay. Yeah.
That should be interesting. Oh, did you see this thing with the investigation? And Cash Patel says that they are investigating that one of the teleprompter workers was making prop bets. $100,000.
Yeah.
What the frickin' frack is that? I'm just saying. Oh, and then how about this J.D. Vance and all of the Secret Service getting peeved with how spoiled he is?
Yeah.
And
do you take the Marine, what is it called? Marine 2 if it's him?
Two,
to go to his son's elementary golf outing or practice or something?
To go shopping for houses?
And then, taking him to Virginia to go, and then, on our dime.
And then he was bragging on Mike Rowe about how I don't have to cook anymore. I have a whole team of people who are ready to cook for me. Like, just bragging. He's
You're
like,
a public servant.
Dude, my life is so cool. Like, it's really bonkers.
It's fun. And what was his book that he wrote? The what was it called? Where he
A Hillbilly Elegy?
Yeah. Where he grew up poor and now it's so interesting how that has it's crazy.
Well, it's not like he was poor before. I mean, like Peter Thiel took him under his wing. He's been wealthy for quite some time.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's cost like $16,000 to $20,000 an hour to operate Marine 2.
Yes.
An hour. And you're using it to go shopping for a house.
He's such a turd.
I think that's great. And he just looks like a turd.
He does. He's just a turd. So let's see. NBC's schedule is stay tuned now with Gotti. I don't know. There's two. Okay. I don't know what. Okay. Here we go. Surviving Earth. When the oceans shrank. Is that really? Yeah, that's got to be the regular schedule.
I mean, it's happening.
Then the Americas, the Gulf Coast Fun Fact Edition. I'm looking at the.
All those sound way more interesting than Donald Trump's speech.
And then Law and Order Special Victims Unit Season 27. Did you know that?
No, but I've probably seen all of them because you know how they just run them.
It's on background for you.
It's just literally, and as soon as you hear that, I'm like, yes, I have to watch this now. And the first 5 minutes, you're hooked. They do it. Dick Wolf is a brilliant guy. I'm just saying.
Do you know, when I was shopping TV series, you wouldn't have known this because I hardly ever talk about it. I used to shop TV series. We sold a TV series based on my life called The Better Half / Patty Happens, were the two working titles. I sold a story based on my family to ABC Studios, Disney Studios. We only went to script. But one of the other things that I was shopping was a series about a lifeguard, a woman who realizes that the last time she was happy was being a lifeguard at North Avenue Beach. And this was about when Chicago Fire and Chicago PD were starting to take off. And I was like, he's doing Chicago-based shows, there's a Chicago-based lifeguard service, whatever. And I'm not even going to worry about talking about it because Baywatch is coming back as a series.
Really?
Yeah, as a series.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Or it is back, I think. So I'm not going to think about it. But it was a really cool series. And my writing partner was like, we're not going to chop something to Dick Wolf and we're not going to work with him. I'm like, I'm sorry, the most successful TV
I was going to say, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah. My writing partner was something else. At any rate, it's a long, over coffee sometime.
Sure,
we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Over some Pride roast coffee. That'd be good. Yeah.
Pride, exactly.
There you go.
Are you able to stick around for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Hang out because we have Mike Crowley coming in to talk about movies, and I want to catch up with him. Folks, you can text me at 773-763-9278 if you have any movie questions. Please let me know. I'm so sorry, Al from Franklin Park. Sorry about that. Just Google "Good Trouble Lives On." Oh, it's a different message. Call me tomorrow, my friend. Okay, let me take a break here. Continue our conversation on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 50 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and hello to all of our friends who are tuning in digitally on Facebook and YouTube, and now Monaco Brewing Company Substack. And catch all of our shows podcast wherever you get your podcasts. But I mostly want you to go to heartlandsignal.com, where we encourage you to also subscribe to our, we can subscribe to our station. I'm trying to find, on Facebook, we want you to subscribe. We are reading your comments. Please like and share wherever you can. We'd love to hear from you. More in a moment. We also have a free newsletter at Heartland Signal, so go do all the things.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or
and
Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and of course all of our friends tuning in on the digital platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Substack under Monaco Brewing Company. So happy to partner with all of our friends there. And we have Dan Schaefer, who is my guest co-host today,
Yes, yeah.
and the co-host of Politini, and he is the host of Tuesdays with Josie, all available where you listen to your podcasts. And Dan has braved the very smoky, dangerous pollution levels right now in the city of Chicago to come to the studio, as did Mike Crowley, the reviewer for YPA Reviews. That means You'll Probably Agree Reviews, YPAReviews.com. Mike, are you sensitive to air quality like this?
Not really, but I just out of safety, I don't breathe it in because I'm like, this doesn't seem like a good idea to be inhaling this.
Do you have masks?
I gotta buy some.
I've got a couple in my car. I'll give you some K95s for you to drive home with.
Yeah,
okay?
This was my mask, my shirt. So,
I'll give you some K95s because we just have them in the car for.
I have some in the car. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody, please take care of yourselves. The air quality in Chicago is over 400. There is a federal site that's showing 701, but our friends from UIC have been saying that it is over 400, which is a dangerous level for everyone, in particular particular, though, for people who are vulnerable, who have heart conditions, have respiratory issues, please stay indoors. Everyone, please avoid all physical activity outdoors. This is not a time. I know if you got to run, you're a runner and you're like, I got to run every day, find a treadmill. And even then, I would take caution.
Yeah, just find one of those like little bikes that go nowhere and just ride those. And
there you go. Yeah, stationary bike. Get one of those. Get out one of those.
Yeah, I was texting my mom who's in Wisconsin with my dad, and she said that like, oh, the air's bad out there. My dad has COPD, so I'm
no.
Do not let him go outside.
No.
Yeah.
No, my air conditioner broke today. Of all days, my air conditioner broke today, so not enjoying that at all. Yeah. Mike is a movie reviewer, and did you did see The Odyssey?
Yeah, I saw it on Monday.
And you can't say anything. You've got to.
It's the review embargo is up now. I can talk about it. Yeah.
Okay.
It lifted yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday it lifted. Yeah.
Before
I did my podcast.
Before we get to your thoughts on it, you have to do your podcast. Like, I gotta get this done. Before we get to your review, I want to sort of a lay of the land with movie theaters, because I heard they're doing pretty well this summer, and it's kind of driven by a couple of surprising creators.
Backrooms and Obsession. Obsession is the one that's raking in even more money. And yeah, it's great because all these comic book movies like Supergirl and like all these Marvel films, they're not doing well. Like Moana bombed. And thank God, because people are actually paying money to see these independent horror films made by young filmmakers, because I think a lot of audiences who are of a younger generation than me and my generation are kind of feeling the same thing. Like, okay, they don't have much of a future. There's not a lot of money coming in. You know, the baby boomer generation kind of left them behind, so they no longer want to see movies that are happy, fly around and shoot rainbows.
Right.
They want to actually see something that reflects how they feel. So they go towards these movies that are about existential dread. You know, you have one movie that's about this guy who can't really get validation from the girl that he wants. So in a way, he's kind of like this weird metaphor for social media, set in a movie during a pre-social media era. And then you got another movie about a guy who's like in his 40s and his life didn't work out. He runs this, little furniture store that no one really goes to, and then he finds these back rooms, this like other dimension there, and like everything there is like a deformed version of his insecurities and failures and stuff like that.
Wow.
So yeah, people are like, I want to see more of that rather than someone telling me everything is great when it's not. So I think that's why people are really going to see these movies.
Wow.
I think I'm not surprised by Moana, because I asked my goddaughter, who's 10, if she wanted to go see the Moana. And now when I used to babysit her, I've seen Moana like 40,000 times, okay?
Oh, okay.
And when I asked her, I was like, do you want to go see the Moana movie? And I'm like all excited about it. She goes, no. And I'm like, oh. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just go. But no, apparently I'm not going to go.
She probably saw The Rock with the wig on, and she just went.
She was not having it. She was like, all right, so maybe now I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I don't think he should ever. I mean, I know he's done a couple of roles where he's had hair, but it's just weird.
Oh yeah, it looks like a horrible wig. Yeah. I didn't see Moana. That was like the one press screening where it was like on the same day, I think, as Evil Dead Burn. And Moana was the same day as that, and everyone's like, well, we're not seeing Moana. And then we went to go see Evil Dead Burn, and I didn't bother going to the other screening after that, because I'm just like, well, no one's going to see this movie anyways, so
Wow.
Who cares?
Wow. We are hanging out with YPA reviewer Mike Crowley, ypareviews.com, and he's got a great website. You should check it out. And you can go back. I mean, I'm sure there's movies that if you're looking for something to stream, you've got a great collection of movies for folks to go back and watch. Are there? I'm actually stalling for Odyssey. Now I'm just teasing because it's a bigger movie, and we'll talk about that after the 30 break. But are there any movies you feel like people might have missed that we should really check out?
That people have missed. Well, I mostly just know the popular ones right now.
Okay.
But like, I guess if you want to see some Christopher Nolan movies, a lot of those are available. Well, some of them through Warner Brothers, now through Universal, because you switch through there. But yeah, let me check here. Oh, The Invite was actually quite good.
The Invite. I haven't heard this one.
The Invite is a movie about like this couple who goes into this other couple's apartment for like a fun night out, and they're like these neighbors who are constantly making a ruckus in the middle of the night, if you know what I mean. And it's basically about how two people who are total opposites, they don't end up becoming friends in the end, but becoming more separated. And it's kind of about how a relationship is falling apart and continues to fall apart. And it doesn't have a happy ending. It's kind of like it kind of feels like an old Hollywood movie from the 70s. And they called it New Hollywood at the time, kind of inspired from the French New Wave and stuff like that. And of course, like Italian neorealism kind of brought an element of like actual locations to movies and actual people instead of actors on set. So like this movie is in the vein of those. It's even shot on film instead of digital. And I will always say I like film more than digital, and I don't dislike digital. You know, I think digital looks fine, but I think you can see way too much with digital. Like I was watching Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass, and this movie has no right to be that crystal clear for a regular comedy where there's like a scene someone's talking in the kitchen and you can see every single thing in the little kitchen that they're in, every single detail. And it's like, you know, I liked it better where there was film. It was less of a depth of field.
Yes.
And yeah, you didn't, and it was like you would focus on what the camera wants you to focus on, what the director wants you to focus on. And now it's like just like shiny things all over the place. So at least
that would get me, is because I'd be like, what's in that corner? And I'm totally missing what is actually happening in the because it's too crystal clear. And yeah, when you got guys like Nolan, like he'll make something, like he'll film something and he'll hold your attention on that. Although like he's like very ADD with his editing, but it works. Yeah.
I'm sorry, your page has a tremendous number of movies that I didn't even know.
I have my notes app up because I'm taking notes.
Jeez, no, look at that. I mean, like I'm gonna just drop this in here and then we have to take a break. But so I can't let you react because I gotta go. But my goodness, Robin Hood. I didn't know Hugh Jackman was playing
The Death of Robin Hood. Yeah,
The Death of Robin Hood with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that one was okay. It wasn't great. It had like really awesome ideas because it's really about how this guy isn't really a hero. He's not the, take away from the rich to give to the poor guy. Like maybe he is, but it really shows you like what that would entail if you actually were to, kind of take on the rich. And it shows how Robin Hood is like a psychotic killer in this movie, which doesn't really my only familiarity with Robin Hood is the Kevin Costner movie, which I never saw, but I did see Robin Hood Men in Tights in theaters. So that's all I know about Robin Hood. So I'm watching Robin Hood and he's like, I'm a bad guy and I'm a murderer. I'm like, Robin Hood? Okay.
You haven't seen Kevin Costner as Robin Hood?
I love that.
With that horrible English accent?
Although Alan Rickman as the sheriff is fantastic.
Oh yeah. You can't go wrong with Alan Rickman.
You can never go wrong. Let's take a break here and continue our conversations. You guys, seriously, I don't get a chance to watch many movies lately, and there's a ton of movies, and Mike does a great job of giving you. I mean, I love that you've got the movie posters, you've got the written review, you also have the link to the YouTube channel. So go to ypareviews.com and check out. And scroll down. Maybe there's some movies. You got some horror movies, some drama, some comedy, some action movies. There's a lot going on. Dan Schaefer, the co-host of Palatini, and also the host of Tuesdays with Josie, available wherever you listen to your podcast. More after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150, KTNF AM 950. Hello, everyone watching digitally and in the future on the podcast. Okay.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and of course everyone tuning in digitally. If you are so inclined, please check us out on Facebook and YouTube and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Joining me in studio is our guest co-host today, Dan Schaefer, who traveled in hazardous weather, as did our guest Mike Crowley. Folks, please take care of yourselves if you can. Stay home with the windows closed, air conditioning running, if you don't have air conditioning, please find somebody in your circle of friends or family, or find some of the locations that are providing air conditioning relief tonight, because it is not safe to keep your windows open tonight with the quality of air over the danger levels are through the roof. We should be at 100 for AQI categories, and we are at over 400, and in some areas over 700. So tonight's a good night to stream a movie if you're at ypareviews.com.
Christopher Nolan in his movies, every time one of his movies comes out, something happens where it's like, oh, you could die if you go to the theater, kind of like Tenet when he wanted everyone to go there in 2020.
Oh no, with the pandemic.
Yeah, now with the air quality with this, Chris Nolan will be like, well, it's a brilliant movie and it's worth seeing.
Oh God. Yeah. I didn't even, it's so funny. I really am not paying attention to anything. I had no idea who was in this movie. This is Matt Damon.
Everyone.
So Odyssey. We're going to talk about the Odyssey with Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Zendaya, and Charlize Theron. What a cast.
Yeah, everyone. That's Christopher Nolan. He's like the top of the food chain, and he can get. And there's a reason they cast all stars in this movie, because if you watch this film and you're trying to remember everyone's name, and if all the actors were Greek and they were speaking Greek in it too, you'd be like, I have no idea what's going on in this film. And already like when you have like movie stars, like Robert Pattinson, like he's one of the evil suitors who's trying to take over Ithaca, and he's trying to win over Penelope's hand. If you don't know like if Anne Hathaway wasn't cast as Penelope, you wouldn't know like, oh, who's Penelope? They say Anne Hathaway. You're okay, like you go to the barbecue, you know what you're talking about. So they have like all these stars playing these roles, so you can easily discern who's who in the movie. And it uses a modern English dialect. Like which some of it goes a little far. Like instead of saying father, they say dad in it, which is a little weird. But, and there's also like a couple F-bombs in the movie, and I'm like, I don't think that was in the book.
We don't know. We don't know the original translation might have included.
But, I mean, it works, though, because Christopher Nolan is a guy who he takes his narrative and he likes to cut in and out of time non-sequentially in his movies a lot. And he kind of takes simple plots and makes them complex, so then you can go back and see what you missed and keep giving ticket sales. And then also it gives you a reason to see a movie more than once.
Yeah. This looks beautiful.
Oh yeah. It's really well shot. Like the action in it is amazing.
Who are these giants? Why are there giants in armor?
Oh, the giants? Yeah, that's in the
Odyssey?
Homer's poem. Yeah. But I mean, I didn't read it.
They look like something out of Doctor Who. Something like.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Christopher Nolan is he never uses CGI. Like he only uses it once in a while. And in this film, it works great. There's a couple moments where it doesn't quite work so well. Like there's this one moment, and like all of Odysseus's men are on the boat, and like these giant birds are grabbing them, but you don't see the birds. You only see like their legs, which I get it. He didn't want like a cartoon bird there, but it's like if he had this huge threat, you could show it. But then there's the Cyclops scene, which I thought was incredible. I haven't seen something look that real on screen that wasn't human or some species that exists within our world in a very long time. And I think the way they shot it was there's like one scene where the Cyclops, he's just laying on his side, and like all of Odysseus's men are gathered around it, and they're going to poke him in the eye. And for that shot where he's just laying on the ground, I think they built like a 60-foot puppet or something like that, or something enormous, like something the actual size of the Cyclops.
Right.
That was sleeping next to them. And then for the other shots where it's just like the Cyclops walking, I think it was a miniature puppet that they would film and then superimpose it into the scene, or just, use a separate shot and cheat it to make it look like he's there. But the actual usage of old camera tricks, actually filming on IMAX, which is huge because those IMAX cameras are very loud. And in order to contain the sound, because they sound like lawnmowers when you're rolling them, in order to contain the sound, they put this huge coffin on it, which makes it weigh like 300 pounds. So here's this movie. These guys, for a large portion of it, they're out in the middle of the ocean. It's not a stage. They're really out at sea with this big 300-pound camera. It's like this is the kind of filmmaking risks and camera trickery that they would like do in the old David Lean or Cecil B. DeMille films. Like I was kind of being brought back to the Chariot Race from Ben-Hur.
Wow.
Where it's like, yeah, they actually did this on camera, and you could tell the authenticity and the physicality of it is real. It's weird saying authentic because, it's a myth.
Right.
So, I like to call the movie an authentic myth. It's like it feels real and lived in, but it's fictional, especially when nobody's actually speaking Greek. They're speaking English and they have American accents.
Right.
Which that didn't bother me. There was a couple small, casting choices they made where I was like, that's a little odd choice. They're like, they cast Helena of Troy. They cast Lupita Nyong'o as Helena of Troy. And, Helena of Troy is supposed to be like the beautiful face that led 1,000 ships into war. Greeks weren't exactly, they were kind of racist back then. So when Lupita Nyong'o is their face for like the 1,000 ships, I'm like, yeah, I don't think, no. It kind of turned me off. But she was fine in it.
It took you, well, I think.
And she was only in 2 scenes.
And I think what you mean, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, is it pulled you out of the moment.
Yeah.
Because we're already having a suspension of disbelief, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when there's something that's jarring that goes completely against what would have happened.
Yeah. Although none of this really happened. It's all fictional. Like there's no Cyclops.
Not really happened, but I mean, what we understand from the
what would have been type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say Samantha Morton as Circe is amazing. She's like this witch that turns a bunch of Odysseus's men into pigs. And yeah, her act, like if you guys don't know, if anyone's ever seen Minority Report, she's like the main precog in it.
Okay, wow, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, I know.
That's an old.
Old. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Please stop. Please. I saw Die Hard when it came out, and I was in high school. So I'm just saying.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
What year did that come out? 88?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost about I don't know why I'm saying that. I saw Jaws when it came out. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. I was way too young. My parents took me to see Jaws when I was 5 years old. That's not right.
Wow.
And One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that film.
Have you ever seen Chinatown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long time ago. It's hard to watch because Roman Polanski, but it was pretty good though. Regardless, At least Roman Polanski doesn't star in love stories directed by him, with him in it like Woody Allen does.
So creepy.
Yeah.
Let me take so Odyssey. It looks beautiful, and I want to say this. I know we've had Mike Crowley on before, and I've told you about his website, but I really want to take a step back and tell you this is a fantastic website for movie lovers. Because you can scroll through and see all the posters, and then when you click through, he's got a clip. He's got the trailers attached to the review, and then you've got a link to his YouTube channel, so you can also catch his interviews and reviews. Just a really good website.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that you can thank Squarespace for that. I didn't know how to design it, but I just put the trailers there because I was like, well, what if people don't know what the movie is? Then they can watch the trailer, see what the movie is. And then in some of my reviews, I'm like, don't watch the trailer. Although the trailer's at the top. Yeah,
it's really great. And there's one I had never heard of this one, Mother Mary. I
love Mother Mary. I love that. That was my favorite. Yeah, it was. It was a ghost story. Another movie with Anne Hathaway. She's basically like this pop star who had some sort of crazy manic depressive episode and got canceled. And it's about her trying to win the trust of her friend back, all while being possessed by this ghost that's tying the both of them together. And yeah, it's like if you like really depressing atmospheric movies like I do, then you'll love this film.
Folks, you can scroll down if there's a movie. There's so many movies you probably didn't, because some movies just have a lot of their advertising team, the marketing, the branding from the studios. We all knew Wuthering Heights came out, but I didn't. A lot of these movies I just never had heard of.
There's a Lorne Michaels thing. There's Lee Cronin's Money. The Michael Jackson movie.
Yeah. I can't. I can't. Yeah. Let's take a break here. When we come back, I'll read through some of your texts. 773-763-9278 if you want to text us. By the way, this is way back in December. I actually liked the Anaconda movie with Paul Rudd.
I did too.
It was funny. I thought it was really fun.
I think a lot of people trashed it too much.
It was so self-aware and funny, and I just enjoyed it. Let's take a break here. We'll continue our conversation on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 50. KTNF AM 950. Hello to all of our friends who are watching on digital platforms. Please, folks, take heed of the warnings about the air quality. We are at over 400 for the air quality index, and that's not safe for anyone to be outside doing anything vigorous. Limit your exposure. Close your windows. If you do not have air conditioning, please seek relief where you can, whether it's with the city, with your municipality, friends and neighbors, family members. Please take care of yourselves. More of my guests, Dan Schaefer and Mike Crowley. The YPA Reviews with Mike Crowley and Palatini and Tuesdays with Josie podcast with Dan Schaefer.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversations with my guest co-host, Dan Schaefer, the host of Tuesdays with Josie and the co-host of Palatini, both available wherever you download your podcasts. He's also a fill-in host here at WCPT, and we've got some dates coming up from him, possibly in September if he's available. Mm-hmm. We also have in studio with us our regular reviewer. Right now, our only reviewer. I think we had somebody for a while. I can't remember his name.
Matt Fagerholm?
No, Matt Fagerholm has only been because Matt is busy working on another project. Yes, Leo Brady. Thank you very much. Sorry, Leo. It's been like 2 years since I've seen him. I think he paused doing movie reviews.
I saw him at the premiere on Monday.
Cool.
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Okay. But Mike Crowley is our regular movie reviewer. You can go to ypareviews.com. Really great website. And again, tonight's the night to stay inside. The air quality is dangerous for everyone. To do any sort of physical activity outside, please limit your exposure. If you have an air purifier, today is a good day, a HEPA filter air purifier, please run that. Keep your windows closed. If you do not have air conditioning, please seek solace and respite someplace where you can stay cool and safe. And do you guys feel like you're breathing heavy? Like I feel like I'm breathing heavy.
I always whenever somebody says like when I was doing outdoor work when it was super hot, and I'm always the one who's like, it's not that bad. No, this is pretty bad.
This is bad. It's hot. Hot
it smells
and
like
smoky.
fire.
But like normally be like, Dan, stay inside. It's really smoky. I was like, this is not that. No, this is bad.
This is bad.
This is bad. The numbers are not lying here.
Yeah, I remember everyone was talking about it. I'm like, I don't know what they're talking. And then I immediately opened the door and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Closed it.
I just got a screenshot from somebody with the Park Ridge sensors putting current air quality at 718. Again, it becomes dangerous over 100. Park Ridge is displaying air quality at over 718. Please take caution, everybody, and maybe stay in and watch a movie that's recommended by our reviewer, Mike Crowley. Again, ypareviews.com. There's a ton of these that are available for streaming because you can go all the way back. I was looking at movies from December.
I've already got 6 on my list.
Oh, that's great.
And if you like cartoons, you can watch X-Men 97.
X-Men 97. Okay.
Yeah, that's not something I reviewed. That's just something I recommend.
I never heard of Wake Up Dead. This is the Knives Out.
That was like a year ago.
Knives Out. Yeah.
Punisher: One Last Kill. I think that's on Disney Plus. You can check that out. That one's a very short one though. I gotta find a long one for y'all to check out. I don't know if if The Furious is available for streaming yet.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone's seen that, but The Furious is like one of the best action movies I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's insane. It's like basically about like this guy whose daughter gets captured by a bunch of human traffickers, and he like has to go and find her. And the action in that movie, there's a lot of like great, like the best action movies are the ones where the camera's wide and you actually see people hitting each other rather than like the camera constantly cutting and you can't tell who's standing where. And this movie, they utilize like every trick in the book. There's like one great scene where like there's like these guys just fighting in the back of a pickup truck. There's like a whole scene where this dude's just basically like in the human trafficking like home base, and he's just like taking them all down, which is very cathartic. So I would definitely recommend that. I don't know if it's on streaming yet. I know all the Toy Story movies outside of 5 are on streaming, so you could see Toy Story 1 through 4.
Right.
I'd say cut it off after 3. But
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, 4 and 5 are good. 4 is a good movie. But it's like just so cruel and depressing. Like they take Woody's voice box and rip it out of him, and then he like has to say goodbye to all of his friends because he wanted to, get back on his fling with Bo Peep. So yeah, it's not really a movie that feels like a Toy Story film. It just kind of feels like the filmmakers were being like, "Well, you're an adult now, so here's this movie." And I was going to say some other things, but I can't on the air. But oh, and of course, I would not suggest getting a Paramount Plus account. But if you do happen to have one, like I do, because I signed up for Amazon and then noticed that they funded Melania. Anyways, you could check out the Jackass movies. The last one came out.
I will tell you something that you're never going to hear from me. I just saw a Jackass movie. And never gonna hear it from
See,
me.
I grew up on that generation.
I also did a lot of the things in the
we all did. Like I would go on shopping carts and smash into walls. Yeah.
we would go bowling. We'd get the garbage cans in the alley and just stack them up and then just go bowling with ourselves in shopping carts.
Yeah. Like
great things like that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Jackass. Jackass is actually a reason to see movies in the theater, because I'll never forget the first time I saw Jackass. Like I remember I came in 20 minutes late. It doesn't matter because there's no story to it or anything.
No, it's not. Yeah,
it's just sketches. I came in, it was like the scene where Bam like lit a bunch of fireworks inside of his dad's car, and I remember the whole theater erupted laughing. I've never seen an audience laugh that hard, and they laughed that way throughout the entire picture. And I never saw that before.
Interesting.
Except for when Borat came out. And then,
Wow. I have to catch up with some of the texts, and they are all on topic, except for the first one, which is fine. This bad air is not from Canada. It is the miasma from the convicted felon's preparations for the speech he will be giving tonight. Is miasma like a different way of saying poop? Hold on a second. What word is this a typo, or am I not familiar with the
miasma?
My miasma. So that's someone's saying it's basically the stench.
Probably not wrong.
I'm trying. I feel like I need to be informed. Oh, here we go. Miasma definition: a dangerous, foreboding, or unwholesome atmosphere that surrounds a place or situation. It can refer to a literal heavy cloud of foul-smelling vapor or pollution.
I think that is the White House right now.
Donald Trump aura farming.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for helping me with a word that now is going to be. I'm going to
going to use that.
Miasma. Am I saying it correctly? Miasma. Yeah, miasma. Thank you very much. I love learning. I feel like
Kiss my asthma.
Kiss my asthma. Our listener from the 630 says, great show on a miserable day. Patty, Mike Crowley is the real deal. I watch his YouTube channel and use his site all the time.
Oh, thank you.
So cool he can be on your show. PV, in the 90s and early aughts, I got hooked on indie flicks thanks to Sundance Channel and IFC on cable. They ran both commercials. They both ran commercials, commercial-free indies 24/7. Unfortunately, I started running commercials in the aughts. I would rather watch a low-budget, gritty, realistic character study with interesting story than some stupid explosion and CGI comic book movie any day. Also, the indie comedies from other countries were hilarious. A lot of the stories from those flicks were so good, with so many many big name actors. One of my favorite. I was just thinking about Muriel's Wedding with Toni Collette.
Oh my gosh!
But Toni Collette's an amazing actress. She
good.
was so robbed from Hereditary. She should have been nominated for an Oscar.
Oh my
for that
God!
movie.
Yes.
Just that dinner table scene.
Yep.
Where she just finally lets it all out on the table, at the table. Yeah.
Someone says, if we have to deal with this, can it at least smell like a campfire instead of, I don't know, burnt hair? Yeah, no, it's not great.
It smells like burning leaves.
Yeah, this is not a s'more smell. Let me finish with this. PV, tell your guy there's a fantastic YouTube channel called Corridor Crew.
I know
Special effects masters go over classic old movie special effects. That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, there's a great one where they're going over like The Rock's CGI from Scorpion King, and they try to make it better.
Oh, jeez. So funny. Well, thank you for the texts, you guys, and for the love for Mike Crowley. I think we need to expand more people checking out his website, his YouTube channel. He's going to help me. I'm just going to put it out there. Is it okay if I just manifest? He's going to help me launch a YouTube channel, and I appreciate that. So we'll get on that tonight. I need to run some errands. I'm not cooking tonight, and I need to find an air purifier to make sure my family is safe.
Yeah.
So I got to go out and do that. So, folks, please take care of yourselves. This is not a time to think it's not that big of a deal. It certainly is. Again, thank you for the screenshots folks are sending me where their air quality is over 700. Anything over 100 is considered unsafe. We are in hazardous territory. Keep your windows closed, your air conditioning running. If you do not have air conditioning, please seek solace in a place where you know you can have access. Family, friends. I know libraries are staying open. Again, please take care of yourselves. If you don't have a reason to be outside, stay home, watch a movie, take a look at some of the reviews that Mike Crowley has shared with us. I'm watching Department Q, which is fantastic. I'm really enjoying that series.
Okay.
It's very dark. It's
Okay.
For a second, it's a mystery sort of thriller. No,
That's a good one
that's
too.
a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for our conversation. Don't forget to tune in to Choose Views tomorrow morning. He's got Karen Byrne, co-host of the True Blue Politics podcast, Illinois State Rep Will Gazzardi, who does a lot of great work. I had to tell you a story about Will one of these days, and Danielle Butterfield, President and Executive Director of Priorities USA. That's Choose Views tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on WCPT. And then on Live, Local, and Progressive, Jones going to talk to Chris Fitzsimmons, host of the Stories from the States podcast, Jack Corrali, Director of Government Relations of the Planetary Society, and Mark Kelly Smith, Chicago poet. And on my show, we're going to have Matt McNeil from KTNF AM 950. So excited about that. And our friends from AFS USA, our friends who are studying, kids who are coming in and studying from other countries, as well as our kids going to study someplace else. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Lady B. Love you all. Dan Schaefer. Thank you, Mike Crowley, YPAReviews.com. Bye, everybody.